Welcome to Wrecked Roulette, where the name of the game is that our audience has to guess whether we're drunk, sober, or high. I just wanted to take a moment to remind you all to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This will help build our brand, which helps each and every one of our talented guests gain exposure. Also, check show notes for ways to connect to our guests Hot Apollo tonight and to connect with us. Giving shout outs to the people who commented on our YouTube. Shada H guesses that she doesn't think we were sober, but don't know whether we were drunk or high. She also says she would go with ugliest before smelly because she's hypersensitive to stimuli, and she would go with the vagina teeth. So thank you, Shada. Rudy, she says, this was funny, especially Carlos's stories. Our stories aren't quite up to Carlos's standards yet, but she thinks we're sober. And as for ugly versus stinky, she chooses ugly. And Hannah says, Piccolo would win a 1-versus-1 with that cat any day. I think y'all are sober. So we were sober, until something kicked in near the end. And I'll leave it at that. So, Hannah, Rudy, you guys were right. Shade is kind of right because of the end. So, there you go. Let's start the podcast.
These are my thumbs.
Hey everybody, welcome to Wrecked Roulette. The name of the game is that our audience has to guess whether we're sober, drunk, or high. Tonight's guests are from Hot Apollo, Ryan and Jaymes. I just wanted to
welcome.
You all. I just wanted to take a moment to remind you all to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This will help us build our brand, which helps each and every one of our talented guests gain exposure. Also,
smash those buttons.
Yes. Also, check the show notes, and we'll probably be saying it at the end of the podcast on how to connect with Hot Apollo. So let's start the podcast. So, what do you guys do? Which instruments do you play in said band?
Ryan deals with a lot of the bass, a lot of the audio engineering, all of the technical stuff. He's like brilliant at that. I just wanted a bassist, and like he comes in, he has these like mixers and stuff. He makes it sound good over like live streams and stuff. Like you can do this stuff wild. All right, really good. Whereas I handle the lyrics, the singing, and the on stage exploding.
On stage exploding?
Yes.
Excellent.
Sounds hot.
Excellent.
Good way.
So are you guys doing any sort of like live streaming or anything? Or are you still jamming during COVID and everything?
Yeah, we meet at least once a week for rehearsals and stuff. We've actually been writing a lot of new stuff in the last few months, which has been great. Although now I don't know how to decide what to record first because I need to prioritize stuff. Like recording is expensive, like I can only afford so much. And it's like, what do I need to cut? Like what do I need to choose? It's hard. Yeah. Ryan is among the people who's helping that decision because I think the rest of the band is able to like look at this more objectively, whereas I am just seeing all my babies and I can't decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never felt more like Meryl Streep.
All right, we're doing Sophie's Choice jokes right away.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nowhere to go.
How long have you guys
Sophie's
been together
Choice
as a band?
Meryl Streep podcast. We would like to send a shout out to Meryl Streep, our one and only subscriber.
I
know you're listening, Meryl.
Subscriber.
I know you're listening, Meryl. Please respond to my texts and letters. Anywho, what kind of... I don't love doing interviews. I love to just chat.
Yeah.
It's the kind
Well,
of
I want to know like how long the band's been around and how it kind of came about. So tell us a story.
All right. So I actually founded it on April Fool's Day of 2010. That's not intentional, but the guy, my friend set me up with this guitarist, and over the course of the year, all the meetings fell through. And finally we met on April 1st of 2010. And like that was like the kernel of like the original end. And then, life paths drifted in different directions. He decided like dedicating his life to the performance of music was not really suited to his temperament. He was more like a painter by nature, because when you're a painter, you can basically just hole up in your room, paint a lot of awesome stuff, and like give it to like some curator to like show to the public. Whereas like when you're a rock and roll guitarist, you are dealing with strangers quite regularly, and that was not his speed. Mm-hmm. And so after that, I kept my eyes open for musicians I could work with. And fairly recently, Ryan came my way, to everyone's delight.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. So when we were like maybe a couple months into everything being closed, I was...
your video.
Oh, Courtney, you're just gone.
I heard like fragments of a voice there.
I've got videos and stuff.
Continue, Ryan.
Sorry if there's a question going unanswered. I couldn't tell what it was. But yeah, no, like when we were a couple months into everything being closed, I was like real starving for like just projects. I was one of those people who like would go and see a band every couple of nights. And that going away was like a lot to handle. And so I was like, okay, I want to take this seriously. I'm not one of those like assholes being, no, it's not a real virus. But also like, I think there are ways you can be smart about like interact with other people who take it seriously. And like, let's see if there's any of those who want to play some music. And I found Jaymes, and our guitarist Asfer was working with him already at that point. We've since also added a drummer, Ed. And while I would love to become like the Polyphonic Spree and have 40 members or whatever it is, we're putting any further growth on hold until there's not a respiratory pathogen threatening everybody. But
fair.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Like it was since like the fall, I guess, that I came out on board. It's I get to hang out every week and come up with music with people who are really fun to play music with. So that's it's been nice.
Proposal. Maybe less like the Polyphonic Spree and more like Gorillas, where we have like a quartet, if you will, and we just have a bunch of guest stars.
So I'm confused about what Gorillas is based on this and what you guys were saying last time, because I thought it was all the one dude making characters.
Kayfabe, dude, come on.
Oh, okay.
Members, 2D, Murdoch calls, Russell, and
dude, put it in wrestling terms. I'll get it
Noodles.
every time. That's all you had to do.
Noodles, and they have like the 4 band, and then they invite people like Del, the funky Homo sapien, or the ghost of someone who's also named Del. Or like I'm bad with names today. I can't think of another guest star right now. Oh well, it'll come on later. But yes, you get the point. Yeah. Like every other song is a guest star, and like that feels like a jam. In fact, I was just like talking to some dude today, like an old friend who is known for going to dance parties in pajamas. And I was like, he was like shooting some lyrics at me. And I was saying, all right, you are going to get on stage at our next show and do some backing vocals with us. Or at our next normal show, when that's...
Whenever that, in 2024.
Hopefully not. I was just talking to some other people about this, and they had conflicting views. What do you think? So say things kind of go back to the way it was. Venues are still open.
Venues are already closing before this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Especially here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, okay. Venues are opened. What would you say people would start? Would they go to more shows, or would they be more cautious and stay home? Like, do you think it would be a booming industry suddenly?
I think it's going to differ. Like, it's going to be. I feel like it might be a hard division, right? Because I have a friend who's like been one of the biggest homebodies I know for like since he turned like 20 or something. Like before that he like always went out, but like now he's like a homebody. And even he was saying that he's looking forward to at least small gatherings again because he can't take much more of this.
Yeah.
So it's like there are going to be a lot of people who are like really starved, and there's going to be a surge at least, and the old school regulars are going to get back into it hard, but there's probably going to be a segment of people who would be the type to just get invited out to things, and they might check yes on that box less often for a while. Hard to say.
I think it's really going to depend on what reopening looks like. Like if there's a defined moment where it's like, okay, go, everything's open again.
Yeah,
I think
that's kind of what I was getting.
That's where I think you see like there's novelty to it, so people will take to that, right? You get a bunch of people coming out who didn't often go out to see music before.
Yeah.
Might have some like appreciation for the fact that they can after a year plus of not being able to go to fucking anything.
Yeah, having your freedom back.
Yeah.
But if it's more of a like gradual rollout, I don't know that surge effect will happen. I think like if people can kind of ease into doing whatever other things they did than music before, I don't know. I mean, I hope somehow, however it works out, goes in favor of like people rediscover their appreciation for live music, because I think it is really one of the things that really makes life enjoyable. And I would like to see it thrive and there to be a lot more of it. But I don't know that I'm optimistic about that so much as I'm hopeful. I think those are not quite the same emotion, but
I'm bad at distinguishing. That's what allows me to continue on the path of a rock and roll singer, despite not having made millions from it yet. But yeah, I just like, again, shows like I was lucky enough to like play two very weird shows over the course of the last year. One for Halloween, one in the summer. There's this like bar in Kensington that did this thing of hosting the band in a room that was isolated, and then you could see it from the patio and they'd feed the audio out. That's but it was cool. It wasn't the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
And I just want a normal show where like we can have audience participation without like triggering people's fears of contracting the plague, you know what I mean? Like I love like audience participation, invite people out to dance on stage, like let people like shake the tambourine, pass it around town in the audience. But like that's something like you can't like do right now. Like even if it's a low risk of transmission, it's still like dysphoric to a lot of people, and I understand that. And like it's not zero risk of transmission either. So like I wouldn't even feel that great about doing it. I just want that to be a thing of the past.
I know. Don't we all? Now you guys are a pretty unique band. Would you say that you have like a specific genre? Or
shiny rock and roll.
Shiny rock and roll.
Shiny
yeah, that encompasses a lot. Yeah, like I like to like we're loud like thunder and shiny like lightning, and so I call it tempest rock.
Tempest rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go, everybody.
The first thing I thought of when I was like looking into what I could find online of the band before I joined it was the Stooges, and then when we did a live stream, the first band anyone compared us to in the chat was the Stooges, and I felt like, yeah, okay, I'm not making this up. Yeah.
I did catch your music video you just dropped.
Yeah, it's so good, right? Actually, that's probably one of the least Stooges like songs. Well, that's not true. We have a lot of songs that are like Stooges, but yes, that is like bluesier than a lot of like the punk stuff. Yeah. By design, it fits this whole kind of theme of rock and roll history and its issues.
I will be playing the song at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. And you'll find a link to the music video in the show notes also. So
I want to know, like,
boys?
Can I interrupt? Sorry, babe. I want to.
I love the show.
I know, we're just talking over each other. We're just hanging out, man.
Yeah.
I like the song a lot. The video was really a lot of fun, and I just kind of want to know, because like, what's the writing process like, and then the video stuff, like, Jaymes, is it you just doing the video concept, or is everybody else involved? Like, how did that come to fruition, if you will?
It's very collaborative, and also since like we don't have a huge budget and we just spent a lot of it on recording, we were looking for ways to like do it inexpensively, and also since everything's closed right now, like there aren't a lot of options. But the concept of the song and like the initial images in my head felt appropriate to doing in a park. And we there's a park near my place. We walked down there and did it from there. And everyone was like throwing out ideas for like individual scenes and stuff, and it was great. One of my favorites.
Who filmed it?
Oh, a guy. Well, his professional name is Gothic. Wait,
Gothic Arcadia.
Gothic Arcadia Music Studios.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what to look for if you want a video of for yourself. His rates are great. Like he's good at like cutting deals and like giving you more than your money.
He was very easy to work with. I will.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot to say about video in general, but I have a lot to say about a day going easily, and he did that. So.
So what was your favorite part, both of you? The favorite part of the video that you came up with that got on film?
So I basically just treated it like a more focused performance, and I didn't really know how it would look until I saw it. And from the jump, there's this one part at the beginning where my arms are going up, and I'm like singing the initial like phrases of the song, or maybe I'm getting ready to do that, and that was my favorite part. I think might know where like just the lighting and everything. It just like it hit me. It's like, yes, this is exactly me.
Did you find like
That's my favorite
the
part.
process, was it really long and arduous to film the video, or was it just like lots of fun?
Mostly lots of fun. At the end, I got very cold because sun was starting to set.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm not great dealing with cold. I was also wearing like even less than I'm wearing now. I was wearing like a old like bustier, like a frilly pink bustier.
Cool.
And yeah, that was in like a skirt over leggings, and which is like actually I don't always wear a skirt. I do always wear leggings though, so I wasn't wearing much less than I usually wear, but it was still very chilly. And like I was like, all right, let's like wrap the last few scenes. I cannot maintain composure during any of this because I'm just like I'm shivering too hard.
Blackie, you filmed
Ryan, what about you?
Video in November a few years back, and yeah, it was so cold. We were like, I was wearing a corset with a skirt, and everyone else was like wearing. Yeah, we were all like, so underdressed, shivering in the cold, and I think we filmed from like 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. and then we started filming again 6 a.m. the next day for a full day.
God.
The second day I was working through the worst migraine, and we were all really cranky. We are all like on each other's nerves. So I was just wondering if you had a little bit more fun than we did.
Not, yeah, I would say so. Our next,
it was a better time than that sounds like, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ryan, what was your favorite part that you came up with that made it onto the video?
Well, James spoke very diplomatically about the process. I will take his word that everyone else may have contributed something to what went into the video, but I didn't have any. I'm not a visual person. That's not really my lane. So I just kind of go with, like I'm colorblind, and it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you know, if other people say something looks good, I'll take their word for it, I guess. I hope it goes over well. You know, my approach to the video was like, okay, well, someone figure out where I'm supposed to stand, and sure, I'll kick in my part on the making it sound good.
I feel as though we balance each other out like that, because like I do have like a sort of like visual flair, but like I have no ear for like sound quality or anything like that. Whereas that's like your entire like blood. Yeah. You know, and you don't have so much to contribute on video things. So like, yeah, that's coung I'm noticing the dynamic intently right now. Cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now that we know you, so I just kind of want some funny stories. What was your best concert you think you went to? Like the most fun, the most energy, the most fucked up you got? What would you say is the best one you've been to?
I know my answer right away.
So
in, I guess it would have been 2017. It was for what would have been the 70th birthday of Mark Bolan from T-Rex. in New York, a bunch of other glam survivors and influencees had like a birthday party for him. And so the core band was Tony Shanahan, who's a session player, is on like everything that has ever been made in New York. Steve Conti from the New York Dolls and Clem Burke from Blondie. And then just like singers and other instrumentalists rotate through. Everyone does like a Mark Bolan song or a T-Rex song and moves on. And the range was crazy. It was like,
that's really cool.
A kid from YouTube followed by
amazing.
Suzanne Vega, literally Suzanne Vega.
I don't know that name, but that's an awesome name.
It went on like that all night, and it was just like, because you're in New York, you get like Broadway singers and stuff too, right? Who are very theatrical, and they're really, really capable with their voices, but also they love Mark Bolan because they're theatrical people, right? And who doesn't love Mark Bolan? But it was just such a different kind of way to go to a show. That was my highlight. I had to fly like super hungover to get to it, and it was worth it. So.
Gotta do, man. For your...
I impulse bought a guitar on that trip for like more money than I should have. So
there you go. Even
Just
I must have been feeling good.
More reason. Yeah.
Can we see
the
it?
impulse purchases are the best. Sometimes, not usually.
You can indeed.
How about you, Jaymes?
Yes.
What's your
awesome.
favorite?
So
What's her name?
I don't give names.
I'm Ryan. I don't give no names.
yeah, he's beyond words when it comes to loving his instruments. It's like a soul connection.
Yeah.
You know?
My guitar doesn't have a name either.
I always get the biggest charge from the shows I play, but if I had to pick like one good story, I would say it was this festival I played in Mel Lastman Square in 2018. So I was working with this bass. All right, so I will say this, Ryan, you're awesome, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but I'm hoping you'll break the streak.
Little preface here.
We have replaced more bassists in this band in any other position. It is our defense against the dark arts professorship. You know what I mean?
I love that.
So I'm really hoping Ryan's gonna be the one, because like he is everything. But anyway, we had this dude. He was, I don't know if he even turned 19 yet, which was occasionally a problem. He'd have to like wait outside at certain venues.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was like, come on outside. Like there was like I remember what's that one on Queen Street? The not the Antler Room.
Bovine?
What?
The Bovine?
Sorry, it's like Queen Spadina.
Cameron House?
What?
Cameron House?
Cameron House?
No, I don't know. I can't remember. It's a very lovely establishment.
Colas?
Like
I don't know.
quite well known. But anyway, it's
Horseshoe Tavern?
No, that's
Rivoli?
Do I
Oh,
look,
I think it's
do I
Horseshoe.
look like
No,
I'm
Rivoli,
at
wait.
lovely establishment?
one of those. Yeah, it's like it doesn't have like the punk like aesthetic like a lot of the other ones.
Was there an A&W window on the way in that you walked
Yes.
by? That's the Horseshoe.
Horseshoe? That is Horseshoe.
Oh,
yeah, and
right,
he had to
right,
sit in
right.
A&W for the entire night until we were ready to play. He was like, "I'm cool. I'm just like going to catch up on some homework." Yeah,
Homework.
yeah,
Finish his paper route before the gig.
yeah.
I saw this gig and they were like, they all had to wait. It was a bunch of extremely talented musicians. They all had to wait for their turn at this open mic night. It wasn't an open mic night. It was kind of like a,
Yeah.
They had
many
a gig,
bands.
essentially. They had
I've
a
been
gig,
on
but it
those.
was like a lot of bands.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and they all had to wait inside. Then they come in with their custom in-ears and their like fancy stuff. I'm just like, you guys are 15 and you are already way higher caliber than any bands that I've seen in a while. I just
The sound guy in me needs to speak up for a moment and say, if you haven't finished growing yet, don't spend money on custom in-ears.
yeah.
So anyway, this kid, and I want to preface this by saying that I did later run into him at a show at Sneaky D's, and like he ran up to me and gave me a hug, and so all right, cool, like we're cool now. But anyway, so we were playing this festival at like Mel Lastman Square, summer of 2018, and like for the previous like couple of months, he'd been getting increasingly less reliable. He was having a hard time with balancing school with the work he was doing with his father, and we were a third thing on top of that. In addition to which, he was going to school in a place that required a big commute. And like, so getting back from, and which is pretty close to our practice space, but pretty far from his house. So like he was having like spend like, you know, something like 90 minutes on the bus to like get to practice, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's.
Unless he was coming straight from school, but like, you know, school ended too early. So it was like, he was going to have to waste a lot of time anyway.
Mhm.
So like all this stuff was like bearing down on him, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. And he said, all right, I'm giving you like notice. I think I need to like quit the band, but I did say I'd sign up for I did say I'd play with you for this festival show, and I'm going to uphold that. And but like, that's going to have to be our last show together. I said, all right, cool. So I did have a bassist who was waiting to jam with us, but I'll tell him to wait until after that show, because like you want to play that show with us. Cool. Day of the show comes. He says, yeah, sorry. The bus I usually take from Edmonton, it's diverted due to construction. I won't be able to make it in time. So this is like, you guys live in Toronto, right? Like that Edmonton construction is like, it's been like, it's a perpetual thing. Like he'd been taking that same bus for months, and he knew the construction was there. This could not have been a surprise to him, unless he like, you know, got a concussion and like lost his short-term memory. But I don't even think it works like that outside like Gilligan's Island or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I say, listen, I'll even pay for an Uber if that's what it's going to take. I don't care. Like, I need you for this show. He says, all right, so I'm just going to say this. No. All right, damn. So anyway, so my car picks me up in his car. Like, we don't know what we're going to do. Like, I was thinking, all right, like, this is inimical to me, but potentially our rhythm guitarist could switch to bass because he also plays bass, and I could play drums and sing, which would look terrible because like a big part of the band's like whole energy is having me at the front with my thing. Yes. Yeah. And like I can do a thing on drums, but I'm not a good drummer, and like I don't like it changes the whole energy, right?
You're more David Lee Roth than Phil Collins for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like when I was drumming in high school bands, I liked to like Keith Moon was like a sort of version of a lead singer on drums, but because no one let him sing. But even then, it's like I could not drum on Keith Moon anyway, so whatever. So it's like, all right, and then it starts to rain. Also, as we're on the like long drive to Melasman Square from downtown, and I'm calling every bassist I know. No one's picking up. And then finally, like, so the bassist I was calling, a guy named Shaheen. He was a friend of the drummer we had at the time, and so we're calling Shaheen. And his like phone's off, and like we keep trying though. And then finally, like as we're like in sight, well, like within like 10 minutes of getting to the square, as it's starting to rain, he finally picks up and says, "All right, I'm just gonna get a quick shower, then run over." And we teach him the songs like in the green room.
Oh no, we lost James.
As we're getting ready to go on, which was lucky because they were really bad at scheduling, which meant that like the band ahead of us took longer. Or I don't think it was even a band. It might have been a karate group, because this was like a whole like arts festival. They had all kinds of acts. So yeah, we had some extra time to teach him the songs, and he rocked it. And so that was probably one of the. We've had a lot of like weird situations like that in the course of our tenure, but that was probably the one that actually turned out best, because the rain also stopped as we were ready to go on. So it was just like the gods were shining down upon us. And they just like they gave us everything we needed to like make it work in the nick of time.
Yeah, that's really
nice.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
How about the drunkest show you've ever been to? I mean, like you being super wrecked.
Like as a performer or in the audience?
I think it'd be funnier as a performer.
I have a video for that too, actually.
A video! Oh my god, yes!
Send that to me, please.
Yes. I'll link in the chat. This is not the one you want to promote, but this is the one, because the audio quality is really bad on it. But hold on. I'm not the one who's drunk, because here's the thing about me. I caught up. I got all of my drinking out of the way before I turned 16. And that was before I was like able to get into a lot of shows. So I don't know, maybe I saw, and all the shows I did go to at that point were like with my parents, because I needed them to get in. Like I remember, like for my 15th birthday, I went to Motley Crue with my parents because I needed them to get in. So the second link is the one.
Here it is.
Yeah. So, but my bassist was almost too drunk to stand up. I had to like wrangle him into actually playing the show, and I had to cut out like a minute of video from the beginning of that because it was just his shouting at the audience to ask if his bass was on. Like, yeah, we can hear you. Just play. It's like, no, but is it really on? And he's like falling over. It's amazing. And yeah, and I linked that because it's called Baby on the Beltane, and I linked it on our band page on May 1st in honor of the Beltane. And the bassist, who's still a friend, saw it and said, "Oh my god." Yeah, and like so, yeah, we got talking.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm definitely posting that in the show notes, so look for that also.
I just tried to watch it, but then it cut me off the audio for you guys, so I'm gonna have to wait. But I really want to see it.
I mean, you can probably tell the drunkenness just from the like visuals. But yeah, it's again, audio quality is like bad, but it's a fun like live like punk performance to watch, and it's wild. That's awesome. And the drums are so loud because
over here. Let me just bring it back.
How about you, Ryan?
Well, I mean, I think so before this, most of my gigging background was doing like gun for hire type of gigs. Yeah. And like many people who have gone that route, I do have a time where I learned that the rule to play sober is not something I'm an exception to. Where I was I was playing in the regular band for a dude who had been a contestant on Canadian Idol, and he wanted to promote while there was some heat around that. Fortunately, he was a friend of mine, so he found this funny rather than like something to fire someone from your band over. Yeah. But there was our set at that point had there was a song I had to tune down for, which was fine. That's not a big deal. You tune down, then you tune back up, right? Well, I got half of that. I remembered to tune down, and we were cool. We did the song, and I played the rest of the set a half step flat without noticing. Because I had enjoyed myself a bit too much beforehand.
Nice.
And we recorded the show.
Oh no!
And we get to that point, and I'm like, wait, what? I start listening to it.
Wait.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
So yeah,
Oh shit!
That was definitely my you live in. I was like 23 or something, so you have a lot of leeway at that point. Like no one really expects anything of you. Yeah. So took advantage of that one there.
My drunkest show was I was watching a show, and I frequent a lot of. I used to frequent a lot of Peterborough bars when I was going to Trent, and so people got used to me playing there, and so the bartenders all knew me, etc. So I got super drunk one night, and I was listening to someone else's show, and then the guy comes up to the mic and says, "Please welcome Deborah Wilder." And I was like, "What? No." But I ended up fumbling through a couple songs, but I didn't remember anything. It was just all muscle memory at that point.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about muscle memory, because there are songs like, I mean, I've written like a lot of songs in my time, and like if I haven't played one in a while, like, and you ask me to like recite the lyrics, I would probably need to think. But when like the riff starts up, like they just flow out.
Yeah, totally. If you ask me to write down every single lyric of like a Britney Spears thing or some shit that I was into when I was younger, I wouldn't be able to. But as soon as the track starts, I would know every word. It's the same sort of thing.
We after COVID's over, we're going out and getting hammered and doing karaoke just so I can see you sing Britney Spears.
No, I am in. Legitimately, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, are you in? James is in. Amazing.
Oh,
it'll be good.
Karaoke got me through that brief time in high school when I thought I needed to abandon music. Because I did a bunch of like bad like bands where no one else is committed. I thought, all right, I'm going to focus on poetry because I don't need to work with anyone else for that. and but I still needed to perform, and like I just went out to a lot of karaoke. But no, it's still fun. So yeah, I'm totally in.
Well, maybe we'll do some
Fuck
acapella.
yeah. Ryan, what about
Britney
you? Are you
Spears.
coming?
Sure.
I
Don't.
was asking if Ryan's in on it.
I'll gladly tag along to watch James embarrass himself.
You don't. I have no shame.
I
It's
know, that's what'll
impossible.
make
That's a
it
contradiction
good.
in terms.
Oh my
That's-
god.
I'll embarrass
that's
you.
the
I
best
embarrass
trait
people
to
around
have.
me.
That's the best trait to have as a musician. No shame.
It does come in handy,
So, you
especially
can't-
during a show.
And as a
Yeah.
promoter.
You
Yeah.
just fuck.
Because like I legitimately, if anyone like ever comes up to me on the street, like they have like 1% chance of getting away without hearing about my band. Not even 1%. What am I talking about? Like if I don't like, yeah, like, hey, here's my card. Check this out. Listen, Shiniest talking about all the time. You like how I look? You'll love how I sound. This, go here. Free music, go.
Shameless self-promotion. at
Yes,
all
exactly.
times.
Nice.
You have your Twitter
Deb,
handle
you're
like
still doing the
tattooed
karaoke
on your
online,
arm.
That's not a bad idea.
Sorry, Courtney, go.
Deb, are you still running karaoke on Fridays, Deb? Like online?
I was going to start to do it. I might do it tonight actually. I was thinking of doing it after every
Oh, shit.
podcast, and like the whole like thing with me Twitch streaming would be like, this is drunken karaoke or high karaoke or guess. Because I love doing drunk karaoke. It's probably my favorite, one of my favorite top.
Is
top 10
drunk
things to do.
karaoke not a bit of redundancy?
Yeah.
Do people do
Yeah, I get
karaoke
it.
sober?
I thought the word actually
I
came from like the
do.
Japanese for like drunk singing or something.
Yeah,
Really?
kind of.
No, that's
I
a
haven't
total
Look
lie.
that up.
like, yeah, like when
Look
have
that
I
up.
done karaoke and not drank? Like, except for singing at home practicing. I can't think of that. You're absolutely right. But yeah, drunk karaoke. That's one
Oh.
thing. I don't know where. Did she say where she was going?
I'm
yeah.
here.
Oh, you're here.
Okay.
I'm here.
So-
Yeah, so it's the etymology of the word is Japanese for empty orchestra. That's what it means.
I learned that from How I Met Your Mother. It's like, that's hauntingly beautiful.
I don't
Isn't
remember
that
that, but
hauntingly
excellent.
beautiful? It is though, yeah. It's pretty cool. So which one of the X-Men do you think you'd want to fuck the most?
Oh, Mystique.
Iceman.
100%.
Iceman?
Mystique.
I am straight, but like I feel as though he and I like would get on pretty well. And I think it'd be very comfortable. Like I think I've never like had full sex with the dude, and I feel as though like that would be like having sex with a friend or like someone you're like have an affinity for, and like afterwards we just like hang out, like go out town, wander around, and like I feel as though we have like similar senses of humor. I think
yeah.
both of us grew up with hiding our insecurities with humor and that kind of thing. And I think both of us never did as well in class as we could have. So yeah, I think, and like
So with you, like emotional intimacy is most important.
Yes. My
I
bonus
was
started in my
gonna
heart.
say you want to fuck yourself, basically.
Yes. You caught me. You caught me right out.
So you're a narcissist who loves emotional connection to make love.
Yeah. Like I've told some people that I might be a narcissist, and they've said no because you value like emotional connection with others too much, and I didn't know that was like a contraindication.
Yeah, I've heard that actually.
So I might just be extremely vain without any sort of pathological excuse. Not that I need one.
When I was
so good.
young, I wanted to fuck cartoon Wolverine. There were no live action
Wait,
versions when I was young.
quick question.
So
The
I really
Australian
liked
version?
Wolverine. What?
The Australian version from the pilot? Because if I had to fuck one version
no, I
of
mean
Wolverine, I'd want to fuck.
the cartoon like 90s
Yeah.
X-Men.
No, but the pilot for that has an Australian actor in the voice of Wolverine.
Oh,
and
really?
I think that would, yeah. Look it up. It's called Pride of the X-Men. And like the only thing I remember is want a piece of fruit. that is his iconic line in that film, in that pilot.
But Wolverine's Canadian.
No, I know. But if you look it up on YouTube, he's Wolverine in the pilot for that cartoon with an Australian voice, And now it's even better in retrospect because the iconic Wolverine is in fact Australian, but he at least disguises
that is
it.
a really cool little factoid.
Yeah.
There you go, you nerds.
Yeah, no, I'm the biggest nerd. I have multiple songs about comic books in
I
Ryan,
wasn't attracted to any actor that played Wolverine nor the voice actor. I was attracted to sketch outline of a fierce, ferocious man.
It's much easier for me to form emotional connections to fictional characters than it is for me to form them with like actual actors.
Oh yeah, because you get to know them a little bit more intimately through their medium, like through books or music or books or movies.
Yeah.
Well, the further you guys go on that, the worse it's going to make my answer sound. I can't give an insightful answer because I just don't have enough familiarity with the source material. So I have to just go with the one that was Halle Berry.
Storm.
I like Halle Berry. That is all.
The power of elements at my command! Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't go that high, though. The cartoon Storm did.
Yeah.
Cartoon Storm is best Storm.
All right, do you want to
I have somewhere, I gotta go through my house, but somewhere I have an entire binder of the collector cards of X-Men from that era, because I absolutely love that show. But I don't know where it is. No idea. I gotta look around. But if I find them, Deb, I'll bring them on, and we'll bring James back and Ryan back, just to be like, hey, Ryan, these are here, lend these, and then James.
We can do one of those games where like he has to like try to name the X-Men by like the factoids on the back of the card or something.
Oh, yeah.
God, I see the lowest score ever.
And then I'll give him lectures about all the like actual like details. Like, all right, so you're wrong, but here's everything about this character from the top of my head.
One more thing back to music. I want to know your inspiration behind the song "We Don't Need More Songs About Underage Girls." So I want to know what was the thought process behind that.
So I mean, there's like the literal sense and like the deeper meaning behind it. But in a literal sense, like you go back to like the birth of like recorded music, and there are songs that are explicitly about having sex with
children,
girls. Like they name the ages. Like even like the Beatles had like
Sexy and 17. Yeah.
She's only 16, if you know what I mean. And like Ringo, when he was like a sort of elder statesman of rock and roll in like the 80s, one of his biggest hits was "You're 16, You're Beautiful, and You're Mine." And like even like the blues guys did that stuff. Like from the start of like recorded popular music to like I'm not up on enough current music to know, but like the spirit, even if like it's less explicit now, the spirit of fetishization of young female bodies is still thriving, and like people are only now starting to grapple with it. And so like even beyond the literal aspect, there's that bit of it too.
Yeah, things are still very male gazy, but especially back then. Oh my god. I just wanted to ask about that because I didn't have that written down as one of my questions. So did you want to play some Monkey's Paw with these boys?
Yes.
Would you like
What's
to play
that?
some Monkey's Paw with these boys,
Yes.
Courtney?
You're gonna make 3 wishes, and Deb and I are gonna ruin them.
Yep, we're gonna totally fuck with your dreams. I'm turning off my screen for 1 second.
Okay. I think we should bounce between the boys. So James makes 1, Ryan makes 1, James makes 1, and we'll ruin them in succession.
I'm just gonna go with it.
So she didn't turn off her screen. I can still see her. So yeah, the whole idea is that you make 3 wishes and you get what you want, but then somehow things alter. So let's start with Ryan, actually. Ryan, make a wish.
Contingencies, essentially.
Okay. I wish to never have to work again.
Granted, but everyone else has to work, including children and very old people. And they all blame you.
Nice.
Get on your hands and knees, Grandma. Back to those sweatshops, little Sophie.
Oh my god.
How would you ruin it, Courtney?
We get to ruin the same wish?
Yeah,
Amazing.
let's do. I want to know.
Yeah, never have to work again, granted, but you're in a vegetative state.
Right. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's the
thought of
reason.
when I was thinking of how I would ruin it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna
trying
be
to
so
You
think-
gotta make
mean as
them
to
much
go
more
to-
evil for everyone else.
Yeah,
around.
I mean, the easy way is you're dead, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it like prolonged and terrible, and that would be vegetative state. So
yeah, you
Here we
can
go.
see, smell, and hear things, but you can't react. That's torture, man. That'd be awful.
mhm.
do you ever remember the there was a young guy and he was in a coma from when he was a kid, and he eventually woke up, but the entire time that he was in the coma he could still hear everything, and like people would play Barney on TV for him because when he was first in the coma he was young enough that was something he watched.
Yeah.
So they just kept playing it for years and years and years, and this poor fuck, he woke up and he was like, never play Barney again. People are driving me insane. Not a lot of people wake up from comas, but when they do, sometimes you get cool stories like that. I'll try and find the story. Deb, let's just include that in the post show notes for people. The kid who was in a coma
All right.
and was tortured by Barney songs
Kid.
the whole time.
Tortured by Barney.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Also, maybe
Coma
tortured
kid
by
tortured
Barney
by
could be.
Barney. What a
Yeah,
headline.
that's the name of our podcast this week, actually.
Coma kid tortured by Barney. That'd be good.
So good. James,
Um,
make a wish for us.
I mean, this is just like the one that always springs to mind first. I want our music to just be exposed to like the furthest reaches of the world. I want it just to be available for everyone. I want everyone like to be in front of everyone's ears. Not like forcing on it, not like, playing in elevators or anything, but just like I want to be out there to the maximum degree.
like when you're walking through a shopping mall, you're like, oh, that fuck again.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's like Christmas music, but
I don't really have that kind of music, but I want to be like, I want to break through the signal to noise ratio.
Okay, yeah. How would you fuck with that, Courtney?
Granted, it reaches the far spaces of the world, but the only people that end up loving your music are all like elderly and in wheelchairs. So when they go to your shows, there's no energy or movement.
I have a story about that too.
Sitting in chairs.
Hey! I have a
Sitting in
story about
chairs,
that.
like looking at your.
Hey, can I tell you? I mean, listen, we are a rock and roll band, which means that like our audience might have a strong contingent of older people. But I want to say this one story. There's this one show we played. It wasn't the Del Rey. Maybe it was the Del Rey. It was like out in like the West End or the East End or something. It was just like very old school kind of like rock and roll tavern.
Yeah.
And there were actually some really old people at that show for some reason. I think they might have just been like regulars at that tavern or whatever it was. There's this one guy in particular. He like must have been like at least like 90. He had like a walker, but he was going hard, like front, like right at the stage, just like banging it down, like dancing like really hard. He was like going crazy. He was like getting into it. He was like, this dude was like probably like 30 in like 1977, and he was like going to shows at like like the Sex Pistols or whatever, like 30 or 40. It's probably like a middle
You
aged
just unruined my ruining of
at
your
the
wish.
birth of punk.
Damn.
And yeah,
Damn,
old people
James.
go hard. I mean, yeah, a lot of like the reason for which I do the things I do, at the very least, I want to still be doing the same sorts of performances I do now, like on the day before I die. You know what I mean? So like, and there are people who do that, like look at Jagger.
Okay, well, you just unruined my ruining of your wish, so now I gotta change it.
The force of my optimism.
Okay, Deb, you go. Deb, you go, and then I'm
granted,
gonna
but
re-ruin
they
his
can-
wish that he just
it's-
unruined.
That's so granted, but it's only your stuff from now and the past. So no one can ever hear your new music.
Still a lot of good stuff, but that would be annoying.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some
All right. I'm gonna ruin it again. Ready? Granted, but it's actually only covers by other people
That's
that
like-
reach out.
But my voice is a vessel. It's not actually that great as an instrument. That's like
Still your
James
music.
hates
It's
covers.
still your music,
Covers.
but it's
No, I-
covered.
I love listening to covers. I collect
It's
so many
only
covers
like
of songs I
when you
like.
go to the Mandarin and you listen to that like smooth jazz version of like My Heart Will Go On. That's what's out there for everyone
Yeah,
to hear.
that's it.
Smooth
There you
jazz,
go.
music
It's everywhere.
version.
It's in corporate settings, and schools, and churches,
on
on the
hold.
radio. It's everywhere. but it's
Telephone
only ever
hold
covered.
lines.
Oh, so covers of our songs, but we still
Yeah,
get
yeah.
royalties.
Like other
You're
artists
getting
covering
royalties,
you.
yes, but that's the only way.
Yeah, you
people
get
can hear
royalties.
it.
Not too bad. That's not the worst. It's not. It doesn't appeal to my vanity so much, but like, I can fall back on the royalties at least. So that's not the worst fate, actually. All
I
right.
have another one.
All right, Ryan, give us
Yes.
another wish.
No, I want to ruin this one again. Granted, but all of your parts of every song are all kazoos.
All right, that is rough.
I'd be into doing that version of some of them. We should
sounds
file
amazing.
that for kazoo arrangement. But-
For a moment, I wasn't sure if you were joking, and I got very mad.
Oh man, I would learn to play kazoo just to guest appear on that cover
go.
with you guys.
Be in the kazoo chord. That's how we get up to the polyphonic spree numbers.
There's one Guns N' Roses song that has like heavy kazoo on it. Which is also a cover, actually. Which one? Human Being is a New York Dolls cover, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it ends with a big kazoo riff.
It's sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
Again, like I love listening to covers. I just don't like doing them, and so that's why I bought the Guns N' Roses cover album, The Spaghetti Incident. Or sorry, it's The Spaghetti Incident. Is there a question?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, we need another wish.
Yeah, let's
Another
get
wish.
one
All right.
more from each boy.
Ryan.
I wish that when I get old, I'm like that dude James was just talking about.
Yo, if you have the will, I think you'll.
Who's
really
ruining
rock
it first?
You go first this time.
Okay. Granted, but you age up to that age as of tomorrow.
Oof. Yeah, that's a harsh sentence.
Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty mean. I dig it. All right. So I'm gonna ruin it by saying granted, but the only concerts you can attend are K-pop.
That's not the
So you
worst.
go hard at K-pop concerts.
I'm sure if
You
I
know
had
what?
to toil
During
in that world, I'd
COVID,
find something. I
You
like
know what?
enough.
A lot of them are very talented. A lot of the art, like
Yeah.
the way they're put together and packaged.
Apparently, a kid from my hometown is
there's
like
some talent there.
big in that world.
You
Probably
probably
got
need
it
a
out
lot
there.
of like cool people because all the cool people seem to love like there are a lot of people with whom I feel I have like a fair bit in common, but they're also really hard on K-pop and I don't know enough about that. So it's like a lot of people with like I could get along with also like K-pop. So if I was forced to go to a lot of K-pop concerts, I'd probably meet a lot of people I get along with outside of K-pop.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's very packaged and very kind of predetermined, and the artists have to have agreements where like they can't date and they can't do this and they have to dress this way, and so it's not they don't have a lot of agency in the creation of their art. Even like the output is very much controlled. So that's the aspect of the torturous part of the ruining the wish.
I have heard a
but-
few things about the business side of K-pop.
Yeah?
Like in terms of labels and rights management and stuff, and it does sound like especially horrible even for the music business.
Oh, really?
But
Or they'll be like,
being at a
"Hey,
concert
this
isn't
boy
really dealing
K-pop
with that.
band and this girl." Yeah, but even like this boy band and this girl band in the K-pop world, okay, you have to date you and go and do that now. And like they have to engage in this like
So it's like
relationship for the cameras.
that's enforced kayfabe. That's
Right.
wild. They actually have to
It's-
live the kayfabe.
it's the Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, but for real.
Yeah, that's wow. That's I mean I
I
have
don't know if
heard
that's
like that.
before anybody's time, but that was a big part of my childhood.
No, it's I'm there. Oh wait, I
Wrestling
wish
is
I
actually
had
another
that shirt
thing.
handy.
Wrestling's actually another thing I'm not into, but a lot of people who love it also seem to be into a lot of things I am into. But I hear this thing where people say that like the business world of Japan is like America in the 70s. It sounds as though the Korean music scene is like America in the 60s. Like that level of like almost slavery over like the artists, you know, and like the prepackaged nature of all of that.
I think we're sort of, but I think
I
we're
mean,
starting to take a step away from that now that there's so many indie labels out. People are producing music for themselves. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
To these major music labels. And I think that the music labels are feeling it. They're like, we have to up our game a little bit.
You know,
record labels know that they're obsolete, and they're deathly afraid of artists finding that out for themselves.
But hold on. Hold on. I know that all the record labels are listening right now, and I will say,
give us money.
That's the thing. All the record labels, here's the way to raise your game. Sign Hot Apollo. Give us some money.
Hush money. We'll stop telling the truth.
Well, we'll tell the truth through our music, and people won't actually get the political message against record labels in their music. But also, I don't really write about record labels in their music so much, so whatever. I write about, like, not writing about underage girls, and also weird, fantastical things.
I would love if the music industry took some accountability to, like, the hypersexualization of young women, and now some young boys.
You know what? Instead of fetishizing young bodies, fetishize my somewhat youthful but also legal body. Like I'm going to take one for the team.
All right.
That's what the record labels should switch to. It's much more ethical.
So what's the craziest story from a party you've gone to, Ben?
Gone to or thrown?
Either. All right.
Now I know why I did this very stupid thing all those years ago for this story right here on camera. There was this thing, my high school had this, it was an independent high school, and it gave us like an extra like week of like vacation in like January or February. It was like almost like reading week, but for high school. And it happened to coincide with my parents' trip to their friend's wedding in the Caribbean or something. Nice. And all my friends said, like, James, like, you have this lovely big house, you should throw a party in it. I said, you know me, I don't really like taking care of things and having responsibility for things. That feels like a lot of work. And they said, no, listen, we'll help you out. We'll like sort everything out. It'll be all good. And I go, all right, cool. You guys are lovely friends. Let's do this. And so like first night, like we're just like sitting around, waiting for people to arrive, or watch like Goldmember happens to be on TBS as we're waiting for people to arrive. Is anyone going to come? Like we were telling people about it. I told someone on the bus about it, but no one's coming, whatever. And then people start to trickle in, and we have like a large, healthy party, and like it goes off without an issue. And I say, that was awesome. Let's do it again on Saturday. And we do it again on Saturday. And I suppose like word must have gotten out about idiot kid in like North York who was throwing a party to everyone. And like I wasn't paying attention, but like I heard stories afterwards, like this is 2007. So like this is still the age of like those big like tanks of televisions, you know what I mean? Like the ones that like they're like this, but then they also go like back down there, like they're longer than they are in width.
House marine creatures.
They're huge. And like some dude tries to take it from its like sconce in the wall and like try to take it out. And like my friend apparently went up to him and said, dude, are you sure that's a good idea? It's just like simply being like, dude, are you serious with that? Just put it back. And but no, like a lot of stuff got stolen. Well, a lot of weird stuff got stolen. Some stuff still has no explanation. Like my mother saw a bunch of Hardy Boy books strewn across her bathroom floor, and I think that they were like in some closet in my bedroom I hadn't touched since I was like 9, and like she bought me for them. I never read them because that's not really my scene or whatever. But yeah, and like so like apparently like I don't know what that was about. But yeah, like weird stuff. And
some weird ass masturbation material, eh?
What? Yeah, like we were like my mother came up with this theory, like we're like two people like just like getting it on my bathroom and like somehow like increasing the erotic energy by like reading passages of Hardy Boy books to each other.
Yes. Sounds hot, I'm in.
Yeah, I don't she put it like quite like that. Anyway,
Raging
And so
clue.
yeah, like my neighbors apparently like saw some woman walk by the window, and they said, "Well, that looks weird. I should call the cops." But I think like I had very long hair at the time, like down on my nipples, and I think I might have been the woman in question. Anyway, which is weird. But yeah, they heard the noise too, but the woman was the thing that made them call the cops. So yeah, that went very badly, and I was I thought, all right, cool, never throwing a party again. But there was one other repercussion tangentially related to it. Following year, almost to the day, I'm hanging out with my brother while he's like playing on the computer or something, and our parents are out for the evening, and I make a joke to him. I say, maybe I should throw another party. And he says, James, don't even joke about that.
No.
And I say, I say, no, it's cool. Because here's the thing. I've been training, right? So if anyone comes up, I'll just like fight them off, you know? Throw punch, like kick.
Show.
But I kick the like my foot connects with the wall accidentally. And I was very underweight. I had very like brittle bones at the time. I break like a couple of bones in my foot. And on the following morning, after my mother has to rush me to the hospital, which is like just beside us because she was actually working in the hospital for a while. So it's like yeah, it's on a large journey, but it's early in the morning. I'm like falling asleep, and the doctor says, "All right, here's a list of potential cast colors we have. Which do you want?" And I just like mumble into the pillow, glow in the dark. And my mother says, "No, he's like asleep. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Just give him the standard one. It's fine." I wake up with that. And I say, "No, glow in the dark."
1,000%.
And so yeah,
I'll get one now.
Yeah, no, they're great. I mean, you have to wear a cast.
Oh my God.
I don't want to ever again because I've broken my foot far too often, or like things in my leg. It's yeah, no, I used to break my foot like annually almost. Need crutches.
Oh God,
so.
I haven't broken anything yet, but I'm waiting for it. I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I haven't broken anything, but I've sprained a lot of shit. Oh no.
Oh my God. Oh, that was amazing.
And fate answers.
Are you
still,
okay?
Still only a sprain. It's okay. So yeah, I haven't broken anything yet.
Did you break something there, sweetheart?
No, I did a graceful stage fall.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Hey, if you guys are listening to this on audio only, I super suggest you hop over to the YouTube video of that because it was pretty fucking amazing.
It was a first for the podcast. Some physical.
Yeah, actually. Shit, son.
I wish we could play So You
God.
Think We're a Lyricist with you guys, but I think our we're a little too on
might
sync
be a little
because one game we want to start playing is I play the same 4 chords on the guitar, and we all take turns making up lyrics. And
which
we'll have
isn't
the audience
really fair
judge.
because I'm not a musician at all.
Right.
So it's extra funny.
And we'll have the audience judge, give us star ratings based on our lyrics. But it's not really working out so well on Zoom. But that is something that you would like to see. Please tell us in the comments. All right.
Oh, I want to do a pet segment where if you're on here and you're a guest that you like show us your pets.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that's like a thing. I want to make it kind of a solidified part of what we're doing because I'm just
That'd be
getting all the
great.
animals.
I don't know if
right now.
pets, but I can just start like meowing.
So speaking of pets, what are your thoughts on dog weddings?
Hell yeah, like sure, like weddings for everyone. Like celebrate love everywhere you find it.
I mean, if the dogs want to have that, you know, don't pressure them. But
I know that's the thing. What if the dogs don't like each other, but they're like, no, keeping things chill.
Yeah, what if it's an arranged marriage? That's
I don't support like
a
forced
shotgun wedding
marriages.
kind of sort of thing.
Dogs are great and they deserve love and happiness, but you know, known enough people who have like been under their parents' thumbs about that subject and don't want that for dogs.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Some people will throw their.
Although I gotta tell you, like the outfits and the photos would be pretty hella cute.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess if you're never getting married yourself and you don't have kids,
We'll be the wedding
it'd be
band.
nice to
Sure.
host a wedding.
I would definitely play a dog wedding for sure.
But
And
I
I don't
have
like
heard of
playing
some-
weddings.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Oh my god, imagine putting that on the old roster resume. Is that
Yeah, like-
played at dog wedding, dog bar mitzvah. How about you, Courtney? Is that more of like a furry
I think
question?
I support dog weddings if the dogs are not being like arranged dog marriage, just because I want to see the costumes and the photos because dogs are so cute.
Yeah.
So
they're
anything
cute
that
people.
brings me more photos of animals is fine. But as long as they consent-ish in the way that they can.
I just want to play one more game and then we're going to wrap up the podcast and just kind of end it with you guys giving some notifications. So I want to know 2 truths about you and one lie, and we have to guess what is.
2 truths to be good.
Whoever's first, ready first, go.
I have no brain today. Goodness.
Oh, I was born in England. I've been kicked out of 2 schools, and I helped build a church in Honduras.
Okay, so born in England, got kicked out of 2 schools.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing England is the lie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess
My
too.
father was.
Because, yeah. All right, Ryan, how about you?
Okay. Okay. I have recorded Queen Latifah. I have won an Emmy Award. Only one of those can be a lie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I make bootleg whiskey.
Oh man. Okay. I like Latifah and I like whiskey, so the Emmy.
Yeah. Same.
Well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. I mean, isn't it still on your wall?
I was looking at that. I'm like, is that the Emmy right there?
I wondered if that was too in plain sight.
Yeah. I couldn't really tell
I
what
can't
it
even
was.
see it because for me it's like a little tiny thing because I had to be on my phone today. I'm not in my normal like comfy
and
couch
then I guess I took advantage of that.
Yeah, I only knew that.
You win. You get self-satisfaction.
The best kind of satisfaction.
So wait, which one's the lie then?
So I am not a bootlegger, though. I come from a long line of them. So.
Oh yeah, you chose one in your family history too. Cool.
I thought there was like too like niche to be a lie.
It feels as though it's got some
throw you off a little bit.
It's got some hipster like fashionability now. You know what I mean?
I actually I exist because of bootlegging. My maternal grandparents met because my grandfather ran a still with my grandmother's brothers.
That's a great story.
Okay.
Which is I feel awesome about that.
Super cute actually.
So
where?
In Manitoba. Like during the Depression and stuff. So very like they were a needed service.
Was it whiskey?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was moonshine, which is almost whiskey. And then my great uncle also made a lot of gin, apparently, which is how the family got to Ontario because he wanted to get Niagara grapes. But
now, if anyone who's listening can beat that love story, please
never will
comment. Please comment on this video or message us on Instagram. I'd like to hear it. I would like to hear that because that is.
I want to hear Ryan, tell us a little more. Give us a little more meat.
Regarding like specifically
The love
their-
story of how they
So-
met and the
Okay,
how they
so-
met, how they got together, who was on top, who was on bottom.
Well, I don't have that level of information and didn't want it, but so yeah, my grandfather had a job at a convent as a cook, which he got fired from at 15 for using their kitchen to make whiskey,
Cool.
which is
oh damn.
among my favorite stories about my family. It's not the best one, but it's up there.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
And
Pretty awesome.
he was very like devoted to that business from a very early age, and he got to running a still with some partners who had a sister that wound up becoming my grandmother. Yeah, then his brother, my great uncle, decided to stake out and find a way to expand his gin making, and felt that the Niagara region was a good source of rotting grapes because of all the wineries.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandparents followed him out. They had a hot dog stand together. That was their front business. And they made bathtub gin that was apparently very popular. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What was it called?
I don't know.
Are there pictures of it?
Okay, get back to us. Let
They
us know.
must
Look it up and
exist
let us
somewhere.
know.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to make
Yeah,
like a little.
that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know like where your audience is mostly located, but if anyone has Niagara familiarity, I know their stand was in Port Dalhousie.
Actually, our only audience is Meryl Streep. So
Right.
America,
Well,
I guess?
Meryl,
Established
if you've
that
been
already, Ryan.
to
We're moving
Port
on,
Dalhousie,
okay?
yeah.
You know, during Prohibition, there was like grape juice kits that they would sell. And there was instruction on them. They were like, definitely don't do this. Definitely don't mix up this grape
Never
concentrate.
ferment this in
This
these
amount of
exact
sugar
instructions.
and this amount of yeast.
Right.
And totally do not let it sit for this amount of time. Like, absolutely do not do that. No, because
A stick of
you know,
cinnamon
sugar
definitely
is
won't give a
fermentation. Alcohol,
delightful
right?
aromatic experience. Definitely.
Yes, definitely do not do this. It's only grape juice. And they were able to sell it. So does Toronto still have a street that's like we have Temperance Street, and up until I know at least a few years ago, any bar or restaurant, or there was no bars, but the restaurants weren't allowed to sell alcohol still. Is that still in play? Is that still a thing?
That sounds like madness.
I'm not familiar with the minutia of Toronto history. So no.
Prohibition history.
I've heard
Yeah,
that the junction
but
was
it, like,
dry for like a long time, but I don't actually know anything about that. I've just heard.
That's
it.
hard to imagine now.
Yeah, because the only times I ever go to the junction are to
right?
see a band and get drunk. But
Nice. I almost never go up there. It's not
Sorry?
far from me, but I almost never go up to the junction.
So do
I
you
know.
guys
And it's
have
weird because
anything?
I'm not that far, except for what's that great little bar? It's got all the booths and they're all different themes. Seascape.
Dude, yeah, I
I've been
love
there
that
a few
place.
times.
Cool.
That place is fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a place.
So I went
Love-
from
I
like
love
I
those,
never
like,
want to
nerd
go up to that
bars.
area to which one?
I love those nerd bars. Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, that one's really great. They do sometimes they host like arts and crafts fairs.
Yeah,
That's really cool. I've never
like,
been
Can't wait to
there.
go back.
Yeah, it's cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're still
I
open.
hope they
I'd love to
survive this
chill
whole
with someone.
Yeah.
Like that.
lockdown thing, eh?
Yeah, I'd love to go there. So please don't close.
Yeah. No, we
Um,
should. We absolutely should.
hmm.
I think we should pick a booth and film an episode from one of their booths.
Yes, that'd be great. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I think that if we gain enough momentum in a year or so, we should host a show. Like have a lot of the bands that were on the show play.
That'd be
And
cool.
just have like
Yes!
an epic
Let's fucking do
roulette
that.
night. And we could have like a raffle or something like that. Who can
Yes.
guess who's either one of us is, drunk or high or sober, things like that. Enter to win. I think that would be really fun. So hopefully pray for
I'm down. Fucking down.
that would be great. So if you want to go to that show and would love to be a part of the getting to that show, please comment and like and subscribe, because then we'll get more popular and people will take us seriously when we want to play shows.
It can't just be us playing to Meryl Streep and no one else.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
she's got
exactly.
a rest. The woman's doing
Meryl,
everything.
set the word.
Yeah.
Tell people what we're up to.
So please tell our guest,
Absolutely.
or our listener, what you would like to promote.
Well, I forget if I mentioned this already, but we just put out our new. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we
just put out our new single. We don't need more songs about underage girls. Available on hotapollo.bandcamp.com, SoundCloud also, totally free on there. But if you're on Spotify or iTunes or any other major music internet platform, we're there too. Just look for Hot Apollo. You'll find that brand new single and all of our other released singles.
Where can they find you? Like, where can everyone find you? Like on Instagram, Facebook?
Oh yeah, always. So always at Hot Apollo. Just search for Hot Apollo on any of that. At Hot Apollo on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Search for Hot Apollo. Look for Hot Apollo. You'll find us there. It's pretty consistent. Except
awesome.
In YouTube, you might want to search for Jaymes Buckman, because that, I think, is the official channel name. I couldn't get Hot Apollo for some reason. But if you search for Hot Apollo,
James with a Y in there, guys.
You'll find
has
that
a Y in there.
Yeah.
James, yes, James has a Y.
Yeah.
Because there's another Jaymes Buckman in Toronto that I accidentally looked up first. No.
Oh my god, let's do it. Let's
I had
host,
your name
let's
down.
host
I
a
mean,
fight.
there can only be one, right?
I've never talked to
Rex
this other
Roulette
James.
hosts presents James Buckman versus Jaymes Buckman. Let's do it.
James versus James.
Just not the fight.
In the final showdown.
What kind of fight would it be? Would it be like Jello wrestling, or would it be bare knuckles boxing?
Yeah, what's your game?
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
Like the video game or the
Mortal
actual?
Kombat. Finish him.
Dude, that we might do a cover for that. If it's a fight where I'm doing Mortal Kombat with someone, then I might be able to justify doing a cover of the bum 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 bum.
Hadouken.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, let's do it.
Rated.
Deb, the other Jaymes Buckman, what is he up to? Is he interesting? Should we try and get him on the show? Just because I'm that guy.
I didn't creep him for that long, so I don't know. But we have a lot of mutual friends.
Okay, well, we're gonna look into it. And
We'll look into
if
it, guys,
we do,
and we'll put it in the show notes if he's a good guy, and we'll let you know his stars.
no, I'm saying if he's
and-
interesting enough, we should actually get him on the show.
Yeah.
And
It
then
looks
we
like he's
can
in a
get
band. That's why I got
like
confused.
our
I was like-
James to call in.
Yo, it'll be a high specific battle of the bands with Jaymes Buckman in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaymes Buckman versus Jaymes Buckman. I'm down.
I mean,
there for
if
it.
the other guy's a
Buckman versus
musician, we could and should arrange that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that
Well,
would
we
be
don't-
wild.
our guests aren't
Tagline.
always musicians. Like we have.
People would go to that. Just say battle of the bands with Jaymes Buckman.
Buckman.
With Buckman in them, yeah.
Buck heads. Buckman's
The
buck
Buckman
heads
stops here.
will win. When the Buckman's buckheads.
Buckman's of the bands. No, that doesn't make any sense. But all right,
Yeah.
doesn't need to.
All
Fuck,
right.
yes, let's do it.
Any final parting words?
Sparkle on.
And don't torture kids in comas with Barney.
Right. That's good
Yes,
advice.
please don't.
Barney only by
All
consent.
right.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, y'all, for listening. I just wanted to remind you once again to like, subscribe, and comment below whether you think we're sober, drunk, or high. I'll also be reading any 5-star reviews we receive on iTunes or Spotify and give you a shout out. Be sure to check out Hot Apollo's new music video for their song, We Don't Need More Songs About Underage Girls. Please go check it out now and be sure to follow them on Instagram. I will be posting that in the show notes also. And of course, follow us at Ret Roulette. Thanks again, everybody.